I'm not that smart. A few months ago, I built a raised bed vegetable garden. And I did a bloody good job, even if I do say so myself. At the time it was winter, the weather was much cooler and the sun was coming from a different direction, and the garden here was a beautiful sun trap and everything growing in it absolutely thrived. But I knew that come summer I'd probably have to make some alterations because it would just be too hot. Today I'm going to get in, put some shade cloth over my garden and get back into growing some veggies. The first thing I did was get my son to build me a frame. I thought, yeah, I could do it myself, but I knew he would do a much better job. And then I gave it a quick going over with some spray paint so it didn't look quite so ugly. I had to come up with a design that could be easily removed because when winter comes back again, I'm going to need to remove the shade cloth so the garden gets as much sun as possible. The shade cloth roof will also need to come off to make it easier to trim all of those trees. You won't be able to get in there to trim them if there's a roof over it. So I've had to make it that I can easily pull the shade cloth roof off and put it back on as needed. I'm going to use these Coolaroo timber fasteners to attach the shade cloth to the top of the fence. Normally how this works, you would get your shade cloth, put it into your position on your timber and hammer that in place. Acts like a big flat nail. But because I need to be able to remove the shade cloth on a regular basis, I'm going to screw these onto the top of the fence this way, and then I can hook the shade cloth onto it, and then when I want to take it off, I'll just unhook it. It's going to mean there are very sharp pointy bits sticking up, but it's not going to be a problem because the trees are here, no one climbs over the fence, it's not going to be in any danger. And if it does become something that I'm really concerned about, I will get a length of hose, split it along the length and put it over the top as a protective tube covering. Oh, I got it all up here, mate. I'm smart. I'm not that smart. I was gonna nail them into place, but when you put the nail in, I can't hammer it in. I need to go think about that. I found a way to hammer it in, no problem. It stays in there, it's nice and secure, except these things are straight up and down. As soon as you put the shade cloth on it, it just pulls off. So that's not going to work. So I've had to come up with plan B. I went inside, found some little cup hooks, screw them in to the top of the fence and hook the shade cloth up. That's what I'm going to leave it with for now. And I say for now because it is something that I'm not going to know if it's working until I've actually given it a good test run. So of all days for the sun to disappear, it had to be today. But I'm going to leave it like that. Get out of the way, Karen. I'm going to leave it like that for a few weeks at least to see how much of that garden is protected from the sun. I may have to go out and buy another piece of shade cloth a bigger length because in typical Karen style, I kind of made it up on the fly as I went, and I thought 2 meters of shade cloth would be enough, but I didn't allow for the rise. It's going from the fence line up and then down, and I thought 2 meters across would be fine, but I didn't cater for the slope. So if this, what's the word I'm looking for? Not the template, not the prototype. If this prototype works, I think I'll go out and I'll get an extra length of shade cloth and then put it up properly with more secure fastenings, because at the moment it's just sort of held together in places with cable ties, and the cable ties won't last long. They will slide up and down, they will cut, they will break, and my shade cloth will go woo. It's definitely doing the job. You walk under here, it's definitely shady. You can feel the temperature difference. It's secure along the fence line. Up along the top of the shed, I've just cable tied it to some of the frame that was on the shed. That'll keep it in place for the time being. It's also going to stop all the seeds dropping down from the palm trees. Bloody palm seeds get in the garden and they pop up everywhere. Now it's time to get the dirt ready. It is so bad. I'm going to leave this sit now for a week or so. Let the dirt settle down. Let that dynamic lifter start to break down to get the nutrients into the soil. And the next time you see me, I'll be planting some plants. I hope to see you then. Bye.